Hey, everybody. Hey there, Instagram. Hey there, Facebook. Welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk Thursdays with Dr. Kela. And of course, I am your host, Dr. Kela, family practitioner, speaker, and author of your favorite book, Nia and the Numbers Game, A Teenager's Guide to Education, Relationships, and Sex. When you think about it, your family is a team, right? Mom and dad are the coaches, and then we as the children are the team players. And so by default, if you are older than your brother, you are a big sister. Or you're older than your sister, you're a big sister, right? And so I was just thinking, how could big sisters help out their little brothers? Oftentimes, boys are not taught to express themselves the way we are. And so whatever they're feeling, whatever stress they may have, a lot of times they may keep it to themselves. And I'm just asking for all the big sisters out there to just pay attention to your little brothers and see if there's something you can do to encourage him. Because if you think of your family as like a team, right? When you're on any type of sports team, if someone on your team is struggling a little bit, maybe let's say you're on the track team and you guys are running a relay, and the person who is running with the baton, who's supposed to pass it to you, maybe they catch a cramp in their leg, and so they're starting to slow down, right? While the competition is running past them. Do you start yelling at them saying, "Oh, come on, slowpoke"? Or do you say, "Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. We're behind you"? You do what you can to encourage them. You know, there's this whole big world out there. There's the outside world, and then there's our inner world. We can't stop the world from spinning. We can't slow it down, but we have the power to slow our own inner world down. And that's what I want to talk about. Now, in my book, Nia and the Numbers Game, there are a few times when the title character, Nia, doesn't take a pause before engaging in an action, and then she ends up in a little bit of trouble and regrets it later. But then there are other times when she does stop. She pauses and she thinks about a decision before she moves forward. Can you imagine what our world would be like if we all understood the power of taking a pause? If we would pause before we reacted, pause before we spoke and perhaps said something that we regretted later, pause before getting into a fight, pause before shooting. Instead of us just reacting, how about now that we're in the midst of it, what can we perhaps anticipate? So when change happens, it's easier for us to make the adjustments. So, for example, what are the things that may be happening, right, with school starting back? So some school systems have what's called like a hybrid type of arrangement where the students spend part of the time doing virtual learning at home and then part of the time at school. So if they're only spending part of the time at school, one of the things that we can adjust to is having smaller class sizes and then more one-on-one with your teachers. So one of the adjustments to make as students is you can't slack off or hide in the back. You have to be ready to participate in class, right? You can't fall asleep. You can't hide out, knowing that you have the opportunity to really stand out and impress your teachers more than you did pre-COVID, when perhaps you could hide in the back, like I was saying, maybe get away with passing notes and what have you. That's gone. And so now you have to stand out. You have to make that adjustment, and that's a good thing. I think one of the positive things about this is we have to get back to old-fashioned courting or courtship. Now, some of you looking at this may not even know what that word means, right? When we hear court, you think about going to court, something involving a legal situation. But in my parents' and grandparents' day, dating was called courting. So let me define that. Courting is the experience of developing a deeper relationship with someone, and it's enabling you to truly find out a lot about each other with the whole sexual part and intimacy removed from the equation, which ideally is the way it should be, right? We need to focus on the person's character and not just the physical attributes. One of the things that's changed greatly over the years when we talk about comparing one generation to the next, our grandparents to parents, my generation, now the millennials and Generation Z, is this hookup culture, right? Where people are getting intimate very quickly after meeting. And although having chemistry, if you will, is important, there's more to it than that. And the truth is, many times people move too quickly and because of chemistry, and then they end up realizing that they regret it much later. And I have an example of that in the book. So you have to get your copy. I think with coronavirus being a reality for the foreseeable future, as young people, we need to take advantage of this. And what I mean by that is it's a great time to really shift things from being kind of fake to honestly being very honest.